Well, hey there. Today I'm hiking the Laurel Highlands Hiking Trail, 70 miles from Seward, Pennsylvania, all the way back down to Ohiopyle. And you're watching Andy Parrish Outdoors. Well, good morning, everybody. It is 7:25 on day 5. Just waking up, getting out of the hammock. Last night was an interesting night. Had some dinner sitting by the fire and noticed what looked like some flying squirrels climbing on the tree next to my hammock, and kind of got up, flashed the light over there. Sure enough, I'd hung my pack on my hammock, so it was a foot or two away from the tree. There was one flying squirrel that was on the tree, looked at me, and there was one sitting on like the water bottle holder on the side pouch, going through my pack, looking around. I'd taken everything out of the pack food-wise, and I leave the hip belt pockets unzipped and wide open. So if they want to search through, they don't have to chew through my gear to look. But if they wanted to get into the main body, which is empty, they could chew through that. So I ran over and shooed them away, but knew that they were here, went back to the fire, kept looking over from time to time, and then sitting there once with the lights out, just the light of the firelight, I saw one fly over top of me from one tree towards the tree where my hammock is. So I knew they were still there and probably calling their friends over. But there's nothing in my pack and all my stuff's laid out, so they can go through it real quick and realize there's no food there. Well, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour later, we hear them squeaking across the way. And I'll show you kind of the other shelters way over there. Well, in between was a tree that we were using for the bear hang, and our food was up over there. And I heard a bunch of different squeaks, and we decided let's go over and investigate a little bit. Sure enough, the little guys were on top of our bear hang. There's one on the food bags actively trying to get at the food, chewing a hole through Johnny's bag. So through rocks, that guy flew off. There was a bunch others, I think, around. You could hear them talking to each other. So we took the bear bags down. Sure enough, she's got a little hole that was chewed. It didn't look like the other ones had holes in them yet, but probably given them time, they would have gone through all of our stuff. So, and it was a decent hang. They were, 15 feet in the air. They were 4 feet down or so from the branch, and 8 feet away from the tree. So, but flying squirrels, they can get to just about anything. You're not going to hide it from them. So if they can smell it, they're going to find it. So we were trying to figure out, what do we do with it? Because if we hang it somewhere else, they're just going to find it there. So we thought, well, can we put it in the bathroom houses? I don't think that that's probably wise. And we came up with the plan of putting it in there. It's actually right now in the trash, in the bear trash, the steel bins. I'll walk you over there and show you. But we had an extra garbage bag, so we put the food bags in the garbage bag and then just put it in the garbage for the night. And kind of gross, but it'll keep our stuff safe, we hope. But that was the only thing we could think of how do we keep these guys from getting our food. So here's the trash bins. They've got these nice, steel ones installed to keep the bears at bay. But, what was that? They're probably waiting for us to get our food out. So, this is our that's a little loud. That's our food. So we just tied it up to keep the it clean from the rest of the garbage that's in there. And then there's 3 food bags in there, one of them with a hole in it. I'll show you that later. Isn't that crazy? So we were talking about bears maybe being the problem, but here, if you're coming to this is the Ohiopyle campsite. You can see the men's bathroom and the women's bathroom behind me. Watch out for the rodents, the flying squirrels and stuff like that. They may be a bigger nuisance. And it's tough because they can go through just about any bear bag. You may have bear canisters that might be strong enough to deal with them not chewing through, you know, the plastic or some of the other ones. And then there's one running across the road right now. I don't know what it is. It looks like a chipmunk. Could be a flying squirrel. I don't know. That's about the size of them. They're tiny. I know Ursac makes the almighty rodent sack, but those are a little pricey. You can hang those. Just something that they can't chew through. But it'd be nice if they had bear boxes here for food where you can just slide it in and close it. But you got to come up with some way to keep your food safe so the wildlife doesn't get it. But the bear bags was a fail because how do you keep flying squirrels from getting in a bear hang? It's impossible. So yeah, that's one fun thing from last night. So I'm gonna get some breakfast, more later.
Yeah, definitely need some scent fruit bags, I think.
Yeah. At least when hiking in
Sugar glider country. They're just insane. Insane.
Snacks for today. Breakfast. Grits. Some coffee. All right, well, we are on trail. It's just a hair after 9 o'clock. Happy to be on trail. I'm in the front to begin with today. Brent is following a little bit behind me, and then Jonnie's still back at camp. She just said she'll get on trail in a little bit, probably catch us on the climbs that we've got. So today's going to be a short distance, high challenge day, as we have 3 climbs. 2 of our pretty substantial, and 2 big declines. Almost no flat ground the whole time. There's a little bit right at the end, a mile or 2. So we're gonna be huffing and puffing. I think the goal was to do a little over 6 miles in, I forget what it was. Let's see. Probably not going to be able to do 2 miles an hour even with just how we're feeling and the vertical that we're doing. So 4 hours I think is going to be the target to get out. So a little after 9. See how long it takes. Here comes what looks like one of the steep sections. It just goes up. Brent's already way up the hill, up that way. Well, we're getting close to the top of the first climb. And it's such a beautiful day. The sun is out. We've been really lucky with weather this week. It was about 60 degrees last night. We got just a tiny little sprinkle one morning. That was it. The rest has been pretty awesome. So very, very grateful. But I got a big steep incline right here, so I'm gonna put the camera away. You might not be able to see it, but you can see the far ridge through some of the trees here. Even here, way off, start to get some decent views as our elevation is really, as we've climbed. We've made it to the bottom, to the water, and then we go up that ridge pretty quickly on the other side. It's supposed to be pretty steep. We're, what was the last mile marker? We passed 4. So we passed 4. So we're getting closer, and we did the first 2 and change in about an hour. So not bad, a little quicker than I was thinking we might be able to, but we're feeling pretty good. Even as tough as that first climb was, we're doing all right. Jonnie is still somewhere behind us. She hasn't caught up yet, but I'm sure she will at some point. All right, let's start this climb. I am just dripping buckets, pouring sweat, going up this second incline, heading towards Ohiopyle. I mean, it's just a big drop, and it goes and goes and goes and goes. It's a pretty steep incline there, up, and it's supposed to be, my guess is between 500 and 700 feet of elevation, which doesn't sound terrible, but it's fast. Like, this is a quick gain. So just pouring buckets. Trying to stop and drink water a little bit, but I don't want to stop for too long because I never make it to the top. So I'm gonna get going, see if I can't crank this guy out. Looks like a section here between miles 3 and 2 was a burn section. There's a lot of charred trees that are down, younger trees that are coming up, but aren't mature enough to block the sun getting through. So the sun's getting all the way down to the ground. So you can see these have all been burned, these bigger ones, down this whole hillside at some point in time in the past. Some of the ones that are even standing, like this one, you can see it's charred, and it goes up, I don't know, 30 feet up the bark of the tree. This guy still partially alive, but it's got char marks that go up a good 15 feet on it. So, not sure if this is a fire that they were able to get under control at some point, and not all the trees died, but a lot of them did. It's really interesting to still see some of these trees kind of hanging on after being charred like that. This is a pretty cool overlook here of the river down below and the mountains in the background. Pretty awesome. And this rock just kind of jets out from the cliff. You can come out here and just stand and get a great view. All right, I'm continuing down this long final decline towards Ohiopyle. I should be coming up on, I think it's mile 2 marker is the next one. So just a little ways to go. Pretty awesome. The river is kind of down below. You can hear it really rushing. I think that's the Youghiogheny. But you can correct me down below if I'm incorrect. Brent is still a good ways up ahead. Jonnie is still somewhere back behind, so just had the chance today to kind of hike by myself, which is kind of nice, just to enjoy your own thoughts. And you know, there is something nice about hiking alone, at least in sections. But especially on the last day, I think it's nice to just have a chance to reflect a little bit. Some of the challenges, the awesomeness of this trail, some of the silliness, the fun that we had, and just kind of wrapping it all up. So I'm excited to be done. It's been a big challenge, and excited to complete that. I don't really feel the need to keep going. This has been a long enough one that I'm good. I really enjoyed it. I had a great time, but I'm ready for some food. I'm ready for a shower. I'm ready for some clean clothes. I'm ready to not just be sweating buckets constantly out here. And the temperatures have actually been pretty good, low to mid 80s for the most part. Some days even colder than that, in the 70s. And then, night times mainly in the 60s, but I think we had a night maybe in the 50s. So, great time. More on this trail than I expected. I thought it'd be a good trail, but it had even more to offer than I was aware of. So hopefully this video has given you some insight into what the trail has to offer, maybe even some tips and tricks. And you know, if you've enjoyed it or found any value, please go ahead and hit that like button. It really does help, and helps other people find information about this trail. So really appreciate that. I'm going to put the camera away a little bit and just enjoy a little bit of the sounds of the river and my own heartbeat. So I'll check back later. You can hear the train. It's going by right down over here, probably 200 yards away from me. Maybe you can hear the horn whistle, the train horn, train whistle, the horn whistle. We'll just invent stuff. I think we can get over here, maybe get a little better view. Maybe. It's still a little obstructed, but you can see the cars going through. Hopefully that shows up on camera. Some of this trail has been like this, where it's just been like walking through a boulder field. You're just asking to turn an ankle, or you get these sharp pointy rocks that just come through the rock plate in your shoes, and you end up at the end of the day with just bruising on your feet. So having some robust footwear for something like this, I think, would be pretty useful. But it's been a very, very rocky trail for the most part. There's been a couple sections where it's been more dirt or leaves or needles or whatever, pine needles, but a lot of it has been just, you know, rocky all the time, trying to dodge you know, the jagged rocks as best you can. The other part of that too is you end up looking down at the trail so much that I'm worried about missing stuff, you know, not always getting to see the sights if you're going too fast. So this trail definitely forces you to focus more than I'm typically used to, just because of all the things that are going to trip you up or roll an ankle or bruise a foot. So it's hard to do it and do it quickly and still enjoy, gosh, some of the beautiful stuff. Like you see this throughout the trail, and the trail did a great job, the design, the layout, to go through a lot of these kind of rock formations and go right through them. I thought that was a really neat addition, a cool part of the trail. And there's a little zigzagging going on to make that happen, to hit those spots. So you go a little bit out of the way, you know, the trail does to hit those. But I appreciate that. It kind of breaks up. It's not just walking through trees, you know, it's not just straight. There's some variety and some things to see. And see what I mean? Like, I'm looking down and I almost missed marker number 1, and here's another train coming through. You can hear it. Tracks are right down here below. Pretty busy line. There's the locomotive in front. You might be able to see that a little bit going by. Awesome. Number 1. 1 mile to go. This is a nice sharp decline. I see Brent at the bottom waiting for me. Pretty steep, rocky drop off. Big 0.
Here he comes.
Wow. Where's the, you couldn't put it like a tape that I could run through?
A little ribbon.
The finish line. All right.
All right, brother. Finish this bump here.
We made it. And we're still in the middle of nowhere. And we're missing a teammate still. That's pretty steep.
Yeah.
All right, this is the bottom of the trail. You got the big zero right there, and you just come out on this little road that heads down to Ohiopyle. I have no idea where that goes. Down the other way, and you got the train tracks down below that we've seen what, 2 or 3 go by so far. So we're just waiting for our final teammate, and then make the final walk into town and find some showers, find some food, and head for home. So feel awesome, very accomplished, tired, hot, sweaty, gross, but pretty good. So 70 miles, pretty cool. Don't know if I ever want to do that again. but still pretty cool. All right, I will check back in once we get into town. Don't stumble now.
Awesome copperhead hanging out on the trail.
No, but I'd love to see pictures of that.
I got a video.
I definitely did not see any snakes.
He was not so happy to see me.
No?
Yeah.
How's it feel to be almost done in about 10 steps?
That's it? No.
That's it. Look, there's your zero.
It really wasn't that bad today.
No, it wasn't that bad at all.
No.
And the finish.
I need to get my picture with the zero.
Awesome job.
Rock.
Do you want to take one with you, just as a
I
memento?
thought about it.
You can just put
But I
it
didn't
in your
wanna carry
shoe,
it.
and just it'll remind you of this trail all the time.
No, I almost stepped on that copperhead. It
Oh,
was big.
was it?
Yeah.
I didn't see anything. Where? How far back?
Well, I don't know if I saw mile marker 2 or not.
Okay.
It was
Right past
before
2, I
mile
didn't see
marker
it.
1.
Yeah, I don't know if I saw
He
two.
was just all sunning and he was really happy.
Wow.
Until I almost stepped on him.
Well, that's it. That's the trail. We made it all the way back down to the outfitters at the beginning, the Wilderness Voyagers. They arranged the shuttle at the very start of the hike. They've got a neat little shop. They do a lot of whitewater rafting and biking, and they've got all different kinds of supplies and things like that in there too. So definitely worth checking them out. I have too many thoughts. I think to really sum up just what this trail was, for me, it was a lot more than I expected. Lots of neat scenery changes, even quite a bit of topography changes, even up along the ridge. It was not anywhere near flat. And then you've got the monster climbs near Ohiopyle and the big climb to start near Seward. And lots of beautiful things in between, rock overlooks and rock formations that you get to hike in and out, hike through. That was really cool. Beautiful campsites that had everything from pit toilets. Most of them had well service, so you could filter water, but it was right there and readily available. Very nice shelters that you could take advantage of. Just a very beautiful trail. Great. I'd say this is a great trail to be able to section hike for beginners. So if you wanted to do a small section of it and do a few miles, the shelters are 5 to 10 miles apart, so it's pretty easy to do shorter sections of the trail, not having to do the whole thing. But I'm going to leave some more thoughts down below. If you have any questions about the Laurel Highlands Hiking Trail, please go ahead and leave those down below. If you've done it before, share your experiences. I'd love to hear what other people, what their thoughts are on this trail. I really loved it. I had a great time. It was very difficult. I'm, more of a glorified weekend warrior. So doing 70 miles in 5 days is a big ask. and physically demanding, but we were able to kind of grit it out and make it all the way through, and really enjoyed it. So had a great time, and looking forward to other adventures just like this. So I'm very grateful, very thankful, happy that they have shower houses up in the bathrooms too. So as you come right off trail, I was able to just go, grab the shampoo and the soap and go in there and clean up, so that my ride home, 6 hours plus, is not smelling like I was about a half an hour ago. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you liked it, again, go ahead and smash that like button. It really does help. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and do it now. Greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much. And until next time, be well.